has officially been just over a month since the release of Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, and here are my updated thoughts on the game overall. I'll cover how it compares to the DS version, including some of the content that was removed, and how it differs from the original.
My wonderful weirdos, I hope you're having a wonderfully weird day today, and we'll be seeing if we really are living the dream in Tomodachi Life.
Now, one thing's for sure, when we look at the DS version and Living the Dream, one major upgrade that instantly improved the game was the character design element. As it is obviously the main focal point of the game, I think the game devs did a good job when it comes to making a huge variety of options for the character designs. From plenty of hair options, the ability to mix and match and really create your own combinations, and the use of the color wheel to get exact results. Face paint is a completely new addition to the game that they did not have previously, allowing players to really be creative and create whatever or whoever they pleased. I do wish, however, that when it comes down to skin tones, that although there are a good variety of colors, that they included the color wheel option into the section. I'm not quite sure as to why they didn't, because to me it would make sense seeing as that is an option for the hair colors, but that's my only thought when it comes to the character designs. Overall, I do love the variety that they have when it comes to, hairstyles, and when it comes to the face paint. It's probably one of my favorite things. I've been able to create so many of my own original characters, and yeah, I love it. Moving on to gifts, in both the DS version and on the Nintendo Switch, you give your Miis gifts each time you level them up by increasing their happiness. And this is where, for me, Living the Dream falls short. I think that there's a lack of options when it comes to giving gifts compared to the DS version, like new bedrooms from the ones you've previously bought, which again doesn't really make sense to me, as you're able to give them clothes from what you've previously given as gifts. So that didn't really make sense to me. But music sheets were also something that you were able to give as gifts, which you can't anymore as they've removed the music building, which I will get into a bit more in a minute. Quirks are something new that they've added into the game, I suppose, to maybe make up for it. But again, the quirks are still not enough. You can make up to 70 Miis, which is a lot more than you could do before. And you'll realize the more you play the game and the more you expand and the more characters you make, that the options you have for quirks are just not enough, because it starts to become a thing where you're giving multiple Miis the same quirk, which for me defeats the purpose about them being unique, if that makes sense, because you'll have them having the same items due to a lack of gift options and the same traits due to a lack of variety. Now, of course, there are gonna be a few that share the same quirks or the same gifts, but I personally would love to see more variety, and we know that they can do it based on the variety they've given us already from character designs. It would be so nice to see more quirks that allow you to make more mischievous characters, for example. It would be so fun if a Mii played pranks on other Miis that can sometimes lead them to getting into trouble, or Miis that have a more petty trait and that will hold grudges a lot longer than others. Those are kind of little things that I think would be so great for the game. Speaking of quirks and personalities, just like on the DS, there are 4 personality categories and subcategories under each personality type, but I feel as though the personalities don't even really matter, which is kind of a shame, because aside from giving your Mii a color, which will change anyway when you give them new clothes and a new bedroom, their personalities don't really affect much. I think that the more outgoing Miis may want to be friends with someone quicker, but overall the pace is pretty much the same for all of them, and funnily enough, more reserved and easygoing Miis end up in more arguments and drama than my hotheads. In fact, my hotheads are more reserved and calm than my reserved Miis themselves. You can obviously give them quirks that match with their personality. For example, my Mii, just like me in real life, is very shy and reserved, and when greeting others, she greets them very shyly. But other than that, it doesn't really change much. In fact, one of my OCs has been in 3 major fights and has had a friendship completely gone, and they were all reserved or softies. And for me, you would expect the softies who are more empathetic to be more forgiving compared to the hotheads, which for me anyways is not the case. Now moving on to buildings. There are a few buildings that are completely new and a few that have been completely removed, like the infamous music building. I feel like the music building is what made the game so much more popular, and I completely love that aspect of the game. It was so funny being able to give Mii's little music sheets and being able to edit the songs and watch their performances. I'm not quite sure why they got rid of it, but I'm hoping that there are updates and that they do bring it back, because honestly I loved it. Another not necessarily a building was the bulleting/ranking board. Now as the nerd I am, I actually did like looking at how much I spent on each Mii. Obviously I ended up spending the most on my own Mii, oops. And how popular each Mii was and how well looked after they were, and just like little things like that. And it's not a complete shock that they got rid of it, not as much as the building for the music anyways, but you know. The Island Design Center is where we begin to see the Animal Crossing comparisons. Unlike on the DS, you can now design your island to your liking from buying different items like lampposts or creating your own designs using the Studio Workshop, which is another new building allowing you to create and design anything you want. But again, where I feel like the game really missed out on is the variety. They gave so much variety for character designs that I would have loved to see that throughout the game. For example, why give me 1 or 2 items for a park like the seesaw but no swings or slides to complete the park? What park do you go to with only a seesaw? Little things like that is what makes it feel unfinished. Although I do hope there are some updates just like Animal Crossing, because it does kind of seem like that's the route that they're taking. I do wish those little things were fixed, seeing as the game is pretty expensive. But overall, I do love the game. I love the chaos and the interactions I get to have with my characters, and I do find myself spending a very long time playing the game.
We have reached the end of today's video. Now, I know it may seem like I probably just complained about the game, but that's not the case at all. I just wanted to give my honest thoughts on what maybe they could have improved on, if there is an update, which I really do hope there is. Tomodachi Life has always been and still is one of my favorite Nintendo games, and I still don't think it's a bad game. I still love the game. Like I said, I still play hours and hours of the game, so I definitely do recommend it still if you haven't played it. But if you have, let me know some of your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? But yeah, as always, stay weird, stay wonderful. Bye bye, hearts.